Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Stuck in the Middle podcast. Well, more like a special edition since we're recording, midweek. I'm one of your hosts, Uncle AK. Reflex is not available today, so this is just going to be me and my guests. Please don't forget, as usual, do not forget to subscribe to our platforms, YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, follow us on all social platforms, like I said, Instagram, Twitter, follow us on Snap. Send us questions, comments, referrals at sitmpodcast237@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you for your continuous support. You guys are amazing. No further ado, we have a very special guest in the building. She's kind of nervous right now, but
I'm not.
Okay.
Not
My
anymore.
bad. Oh, not anymore. Okay. Let's get into it then. Like I said, we have a special guest in the building. She's a model and founder of Fashion for Hope. It's none other than Lyndz Tuyishime. Welcome to Stuck in the Middle podcast.
Thank you.
Did I butcher your name?
Yes.
I did? Oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
Well, you're close.
I'm close. Oh, so how would you say it?
Tuyishime.
Tuyishime.
Yes, it means thank God.
Well, we thank God for today then. Hey.
Yes.
But now, when did you hear I was Stuck in the Middle?
I heard about Stuck in the Middle through my friend. Her name is Lyndz. She told me about you guys, what you do, and how you promote artists. And I was interested in promoting this event, and I was like, there's no other way to do it unless try this.
Is this how you normally talk? Very soft and, calm?
Yes, I'm a very calm person.
Oh, okay.
Soft-spoken.
Soft-spoken, huh? So let's just say if a rat comes in here, you're going to run out softly or?
Oh, no, I'm going to run
and
run? Scream.
That's what's up. Let's get into it. Who's Lyndz?
So,
Tough question.
That's a very tough question, but my name is Lyndz, and I was born in Rwanda. I moved here about 8 years ago, and the first time when I moved here, I didn't like it, the weather, everything, and missing my family. But then again, I started chasing my dreams, and I wanted to become a model, and I went to so many auditions, and here I am. I'm doing different jobs in DC and New York, and I love it here.
So are your parents here or they're back home?
Back home.
Back home. Mm-hmm. Siblings here too? Oh, just
I have a brother in Dallas.
Oh, in Dallas?
Yes.
A typical African home, they don't, when you say, oh, I want to become a model, everybody looks at you like, wait, what? Because we know lawyer, doctor, engineer,
exactly.
You know what I mean? So how did your parents perceive this? Did you tell them from the jump?
From the start, for college, I wanted to do fashion marketing. And I started doing political science when I started college. And then I just didn't feel like that's my area. And I started looking up fashion schools. So I ended up talking to my mom. I was like, Mom, I actually think I want to do fashion as my major. And she was a little bit skeptical about it. She was like, really? Like, is that something you're going to do for a living? And it was just something that I was inspired by, like clothes and like the fashion industry. So I ended up in an art school where I did fashion marketing, and then it kept on growing, the runway scene, everything about clothes and fashion and craziness about it.
How many years have you been doing fashion?
But I still like it.
You still love it, huh?
Yeah.
How many years have you been in it?
It's been, I would say 6 years.
6 years.
But even back home, I still loved it. Like, I went to shopping. I went to like rural areas to just like find, cheaper, different clothes that no one else has in the city. So I feel like I've been doing it since day one.
Right.
Yeah.
What's your personal experience with it, with fashion modeling?
I would say at the beginning, it seemed like something that I'm not gonna ever achieve. Like, I used to see how hard it is to even get an audition or a callback. So when I moved to DC, which was like about a year and a half ago, I attended the DC Fashion Week audition, and when I went there, I just didn't think it was going to happen for me. For some reason, I started giving up. I'm like, I'm not going to make it in the fashion industry because it's so cutthroat and it's hard to get booked and all this and that. So attending that audition, I got a call back, and then I made it to the show. Different designers wanted to work with me, loved my look. So I realized that, you can't just give up, So that was like a turnaround for me to realize that, hey, like, not everyone will like you, to be real, but some people will like you, and you can't just give up on your dream. You can keep moving forward. You never know.
Right.
So DC Fashion Week was one of the things that really made me love being part of the runway and thinking that I can do it.
I mean, I want to be so respectful in this question I'm about to pose, but I don't know how. I don't know how. I mean, I don't know how. How to ease into the question. I'm just gonna ask it, because when I posted the flyer up, a lot of people, came to the DMs like, damn, who's that? Like, hey, when she come through, you know what I mean? Like, give her some food or something. I mean, like, I'm seeing them like, dog, like, why y'all gotta be so mean, man? I mean, for the 6 years you've been in, modeling fashion, have you gotten people like troll on you, about your size, your height and all whatnot? How do you deal with that?
Very, like, I would like to talk about this, like, because it's something most of the models or people who are oversized go through, like body shaming. It's hard, especially in our culture, like Africans. People think that if you're big or like a little, chubby, that's when you're good, and that's beauty. But as a model, you have to maintain what you eat. And some of the designers like very skinny models. Some designers want medium models. So it just doesn't affect me. I love my body the way it is. And it just makes me who I am, and it makes me different from everyone else.
So there's never been a point in time when, slander kind of pulled you down?
Well, there has been times where, like, I'm not even gonna lie, like, even my mom would be like, hey, like, you need to eat more. Like, I don't care if you're doing runway, but we need you to be a little bigger. And I'm like, well, I'm not starving myself to begin with. And I'm thankful for the body that I was gifted with. So I would like to talk about this because there's so many models out there who are not as strong as I am, who don't have the same background as I am, who would be so depressed about it and be like, oh no, I'm not too pretty, or I can be who people want me to be.
Right.
But I would just say that, you have to love your body, even if you're fat, even if you're too skinny, if whatever. But if you love your body, that's all that matters.
All that matters, right. That's a perfect segue to get into Fashion for Hope. Yeah. What is Fashion for Hope? How did that come about? Now, first off, why the name Fashion for Hope?
Well, the name Fashion for Hope, let's just talk about hope before fashion.
Okay.
So we're trying to empower women who actually are going through a whole lot of struggles in life, who don't have education or who don't even have the basic needs that each and everyone deserves. So what we want to build in their lives right now is to give them hope.
Okay.
We're not rich. We're just a group of models who want to get together and give back. But in that case, we want to also build some sort of support for these girls and give them hope that, hey, you can make it. Even some of us, we had people who believed in us and like kept on pushing us to where we are right now. So the hope we want to give is through fashion, obviously, because it's our platform. But also we want to build that spiritual guidance of emotionally being there for them and supporting them and being their big sisters and like being there for them and giving them that hope and courage.
Yeah, you mentioned a group of models. Are they all from Rwanda?
No. So I decided to go with different models so that we can speak to different types of people, because if I made it only Rwandan girls who are so pretty, I could have done that. but I wanted to be reachable to so many people. I wanted this
Diversity.
event to reach different types
Yeah.
of people. I wanted to be able to reach people from West Africa, people from Asia, people from China,
Mhm.
Americans, like every type of people.
Yeah. So yeah,
So, yeah.
diversity is good. You know, like yeah,
Diversity is the
diversity is
most
good.
important thing.
Right.
Yeah.
You there's a mention in your press release that says we are specifically targeting education for girls whose parents survived the 1994 genocide against the Tutsis in Rwanda.
Mhm.
And how do you and your organization plan on going about this? I mean, like, I'm thinking to myself, like, how are you gonna go out there and start pinpointing parents who survived this? You know, because
Mhm.
in my understanding or in my imaginations, I'm thinking that at this point in time, you know, the separated, you know, the break out of Rwanda and they went to different countries. So how do you and your organization plan on, you know, going about this?
So, first of all, we're working. My partner is living in Rwanda.
Mm-hmm.
She's a professor. She finished school here, and she moved back home to teach and be a professor, I guess. So she is the one who was in charge of finding the right people who need help, and we do have some sort of organizations that we go through that has people that really need help. So we went through them to find the people that we were looking for.
Is it just in Rwanda or do you target
It
other
well,
places?
this is our first charity,
Mhm.
so I wanted to start by helping the girls in Rwanda. Those are the girls that I was passionate about to begin with, not just because I'm from there, but because I lived in their shoes. Like, I know how it's hard to find school fees, or even if it's not school fees, like someone will pay for your books or
Mhm.
uniform. That's some big help right there.
Right.
So I wanted to start from my home country, from my roots, and like do big work there. I have so many different models in this Fashion for Hope from Ethiopia. So our next project will be supporting Ethiopian girls.
Mhm.
So we will be going to different countries helping them, but the main focus right now is girls in Rwanda.
Right. Before we move forward, you know, let's plug in the event, which is a night,
Yes.
which is your very first annual Night for Hope. You know, this September 1st at Campton Park Hotel, DC, from 6 p.
Kimpton?
Campton.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Never heard of that.
It's a
Anyways,
really nice boutique hotel,
is
like
it?
very pretty, gorgeous.
Well, go ahead, plug it in. Plug it in.
So, Kimpton Hotel is in Georgetown, in the Glover Park area on Wisconsin Avenue, 2505 Wisconsin Avenue. So, be there, come and support us. You're going to see so many different designers. We have designers from Uganda. This guy has so much energy, like he's a runway. He's dancing on the on the runway. So, we have American designers who graduated from Howard University. I mean, there's going to be so much fun. We have performers. We have Jew. He's a French rapper. Very unique guy. Like, you've never heard of him. So I decided to go with people who are still underground, like trying to build themselves
Mhm.
up. So you're going to see raw talent, people, new faces on the runway. We have models who never walked the runway. We've been teaching them how to walk so that they can just build themselves up and like give them a platform.
Hey,
So Kimpton Hotel, that's where it's at.
what time?
6 p.m. to 10 p.m. 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. red carpet, and from 7 to 10 we'll be having runways and performances.
Just for, you know, time purposes, what message you have for those who love showing up late to events?
Okay, my African sisters and brothers. Time is at 6 p.m., not 7 p.m. So 6 p.m. doors will be open. We'll be having a red carpet. You talk about what you're wearing. It's going to be fun, and dress to impress, please.
Is there any? I mean, is anybody showing up on a horse? because I love horses. You know.
Are you gonna shop it
I
on a
mean,
horse?
I wish I'll be in town for that. You know, I wouldn't mind showing up on a horse. You know,
That would be unique. I
that would
like
be unique. You know,
uniqueness.
put the horse in all our carrot print. You know what I mean? Just
Mm.
pull up like a
Pull
cop.
up on them.
Yeah.
Mm.
How long has this? I mean, how long have Hope, Fashion for Hope, been in existence?
So Fashion for Hope, it's pretty new. Started around, I would say June. That's when I started having the idea because I was going to so many fashion shows, charity events, walking for free, which I don't mind because I'm still building myself up as a model. And then I did my last charity event, which inspired me to have my own charity. It was about supporting Somali girls. And after that runway, I just sat in the locker room and I was thinking, I was like, why can I just like get a group of models who want to do this? Either way, we're doing it for other people. Why don't we just, as models, get together and do our own fashion show and have our own theme, decide on what we want to do with that money. So since June, that's when I've been thinking about it and started reaching out. The first model I reached out was, her name is Rita. She's one of my good friends. You guys will see her. She has an amazing walk. Watch out for her. And I reached out to her and I was like, we didn't even have a photographer at the moment. So we reached out to one of my friends. She has like an iPhone 8, I believe, with a portrait mode. We did a quick wardrobe by ourselves, did our makeup, and started doing photo shoots, and we started hyping Instagram, and we were like, we have a project coming up, watch out. And that's how we started talking about Fashion for Hope about 3 months ago. And it started being a hashtag. From a hashtag, designers were interested, models started being interested, and we had a casting call where we had different models showing up. And we were like, whoa, like people really love our clothes.
Right.
So it's pretty new. So this will be our first show. We cannot wait to see how it plays out. Obviously, it's going to be amazing. We have so many people supporting us, and we love everyone that's supporting us, and we can't wait to make you proud.
Dope. I want to touch a little bit on collaboration or team effect, you know, because in our generation right now, which is the microwave generation, you know, everybody's so much on the fast lane. You know, it's hard to get people together. If it's not partying, it's very hard to get people together. So how were you able to put together this group of models? I mean, with different opinions, with different mindsets, with different backgrounds. How were you able to bring all of them together, you know, to sit under the umbrella of Fashion for Hope?
Yeah. I mean, like, besides even fashion, I'm a very social person. I would like to call myself that. I make friends easily, and not
With your calm attitude.
a very calm person.
Okay.
So, it started just by realizing that I have many designer friends. I started looking at designers before because I know models. You could do a model call. Models just want exposure, and most of the time they will just show up for like exposure and runway. But I started gathering my contacts and my cards, the business cards that I received. Because most of the shows I did, I ended up having 1 or 2 designers who really liked me and they're like, let's work together sometime. Give me their card or something like that. And I reached out to one of the designers. You'll see her. Her name is Nadia Silk. She's from Italy. And I talked to her and I was like, here's my project. Would you like to showcase your design? Since I work with you, I promote your brand. Would you like to promote my brand? She said she would love to. So from there, I reached out to models that I worked with before in different shows. Models that I really thought would represent this Fashion for Hope the way I wanted it to be. And I reached out to some of the models that are going to be at the show. They will speak. I'll give them a chance to speak because they've been there since day one. They came short notice, made sure they had their hair done. The budget was so low. They were so supportive, and they were like, we've been waiting for someone to propose this. We also wanted to do something for the communities. We wanted to support girls, but this is a great idea. So they started coming. I invited like 5 of them. They're on our page, the ones that I keep posting. And another designer, she's from Congo. Her name is Funny House. She will also be there. She has amazing African prints, and she was so interested. She lives in Virginia Beach, but this lady drove 3 hours and came for a photo shoot, just a photo shoot to promote Fashion for Hope.
Oh, wow.
So those are the type of people I love working with. Those are the type of people that make me grind. The people with the drive and the fire, and we kept on working. We kept on chatting. I tried to open a Instagram chat group. That's where we started. Now we started talking about everything on emails, but everything started so small. Like, believe me, so small. But everyone just had the drive and the passion, and that's what kept me going. Like, I would talk to different models and be like, "That's such a good idea," but I don't see anyone with feedback. I don't see anyone who is giving me options. We should do this. We can put this in the show. We should add this in the show. So these models that I'm talking about are the models that really had that passion. And I was like, let's do this.
So far, has it been, I mean, so far for Fashion for Hope, everything that has transpired to this point in time, is it what you've hoped for? Or has there been, bumps along the way?
Obviously, there has been bumps along the way. I mean, people will just look on you just like that and be like, hey, I won't make it to a photo shoot where you have a photographer ready to take photos of this model.
Yeah.
Or not just models, but like people in the production. And it was hard. Like, sometimes, like, putting this with my full-time job, it was chaotic. But it was also worth it. It just reminds me that nothing that's worth it comes easily. So I got to a point, and I would tell my close friends, and I'll be like, I'm just gonna quit. Like, I'm just gonna focus on my modeling career and just not host this thing. But again, I'm not a quitter. So I have all these people who have hope. Like the girls back in Rwanda, because we talk every day. We have a group chat. They have so much hope. They like, I see their stories. They email us, and I'm driven to them. I feel like I'm their sister already. I'm like, I can't just give up because people don't want to show up. But like I said, I still have people that I can count on. People who kept pushing until this moment. Everyone wants to be part of it, but not at the beginning. People were just like being crazy about it. And like, oh, I'm busy, I have this and have that, because it was just starting. But now I can tell you that I have a very strong team.
Disappointments. People say a disappointment is a blessing.
Yes.
Talk about, a moment in time when you really got disappointed. I mean, like, you just said there was a time when you felt like quitting. Talk about a moment when you really felt like throwing in the towel. But reading stories from, some of the girls / sisters in Rwanda, kind of sway your mind to keep pushing and keep thriving.
I mean, I wouldn't say I had a moment of being like, oh, I'm disappointed. It was just like being overwhelmed by too much planning and work. Like, when I started this, I thought, hey, like, we're going to have a fashion show, like, people will pay, will send money to the girls, and it won't be that hard to plan. But when you're planning an event, there's so much that goes on behind the scene. And all that planning, as you know, the American life, you have your full-time job, you have to have some rest, you have to go for auditions. Like, New York Fashion Week is coming as well. So, like, things got too much on my plate, I would say. But I wouldn't say, like, I had people who disappointed me, because I make sure that I surround myself with the real ones.
Right. This is a fundraising event, right? That includes that includes a red carpet event, a silence auction, part of it, a fashion show, and live music. I'm just curious. What is a silent auction? Like, what is that? I've
So
never heard of
silent
that.
auction, what we will be having some um, items that were donated to us,
Hmm.
and what we will do at that point, we'll try to find someone who will buy that. Uh, we do also have like designer wedding gowns that were donated to our charity. Really like amazing organza dresses that we want to sell. So that will be part of our silent auction.
So, I'm trying to understand this. You can't put images of this. Um, 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 what's the word I'm looking for? You can't put pictures of these things, these artifacts, or the wedding dresses online. Or can you?
We will put it. We'll make this specifically for the show. We'll put it there. People can see it, and
No, I'm just wondering because say if I'm coming, to the fundraiser, right?
uh-huh.
And I'm curious as to what, I want to buy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, wouldn't it be nice to kind of create a little, post on Instagram or Facebook saying, okay, we're gonna have these items, and they're all gonna be for auction. So come correct. Bring your checkbooks, your credit cards, or what have you.
So the designer who donated this dress, first of all, she wants to like sell it at the show
Hmm.
specifically there. If she wanted to do that, she would have done that through eBay or Amazon.
Right,
But
right,
she
right.
was like, I want to make sure that I auction this dress and make sure it goes to the right person who's going to pay the highest.
Okay, okay. So,
Yes.
more on Fashion for Hope. Is this charity thing? Does it have different services it's gonna be providing, or is it just education?
So we're going to be more focus is on education, obviously, but we want to also support with their uniforms, school books, things like that, to
Mm.
do with education, because you might have that school fees and not have a uniform.
Okay.
As you know, kids back home, you can even have one skirt for 2 or 3 years. So we are trying to help as few girls, but make sure that those few girls have the right things.
That's facts. I used to have I had one uniform for almost 5 years,
All of us.
and they had like holes all over the place. It was
Yes,
pretty
the
rough.
struggle was
The
real.
struggle was real. Yeah. Let's say, God forbid, right? God forbid, but let's just say your first event doesn't turn out. Um, the turnout is not what you expected.
Hmm.
Would you do a second?
Yeah. So the whole goal of this whole Fashion for Hope is to just like help communities, and the help doesn't end. And helping people, you don't have to be rich to be helping
Mm-hmm.
people. You don't even have to pay for school fees to help people. So you can start by that, but I don't think I'm gonna stop. I feel like this is just the beginning, and the second show we're gonna have will be even bigger and bigger and bigger. So there's no going back. There's only going forward.
Yeah. So moving forward, is this event going to be on the same date or?
I do not have more information about that.
Mm,
We'll make sure we keep you posted.
most def, because I know I'm
Hmm.
not going to be in this one, but I would love to be in the next.
You have to be. You owe us one.
Oh damn. Okay. She said it straight up to the camera. Just looked at me straight up like, bam. You owe us one. What do you see Fashion for Hope in the next 5 years?
Oh man. I see it as a huge, huge nonprofit. I see it impacting the livelihoods of so many young girls there. Like if you talk to these girls we're trying to help, most of them have amazing dreams. Like I have had girls who told me, "Oh, I want to become a model." Like, "Oh my God, you went to New York Fashion Week? I would love to do that." Like we want to just not only like give them education, but like to show them that everything is able to happen for you. You just have to have that hope. So in 5 years or more than 5 years to come, we want to have like a group of girls, graduates, independent women who are helping their families or working on their own dreams, like living their best life. And for us to be a part of that, that's a huge success that we cannot wait to see come to life.
I'm pretty sure you've answered this question already, but I'm still going to pose it again anyways.
Okay.
Do you think the fashion industry, do you think it's worth the time for any young girl or boy out there who wants to join the fashion industry? Consider the fact that there's a lot of models out here right now.
That's true.
Do you think it's wise for them to do so?
I would say, well, this is my opinion. As a fashion model, like I've seen things that made me wanted to stop being a model and be like, this is not worth it. But if you have a passion for something, let's say you love music or you're a producer, so many producers out there. But my message to anyone who would love to be a model or wants to be a model, like if you love it, I would say like give it your everything. Give it your everything. If you see yourself making it, give it your everything. Go to auditions, go to castings. Like we have designers who love weird looking people, like different people. So if that's what you love, I believe that you can make it happen. Like I would never say that, hey, stop doing this, it's not worth it. Well, obviously every career has a competition. And in the fashion, it happens to be too much competition. There's so many models out there. What I do, I still do my side things, like things that I am supposed to do as a person. And then I do it on the side because it's my passion. So I don't know what other people think, but I just don't think I'll ever stop doing it.
Yeah.
Like you have Naomi Campbell, who is really old, but look at her. She's still doing it. And she's never given up.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my inspiration.
Gotcha. A lot of people think that, well, let me say a lot of people, let me speak for myself. Some part of me thinks that, most fashionistas or most models and stuff, to make it in the industry, they got to go through certain hoops. For example, some photographers or whoever is in charge of taking models to the next step. Mm-hmm. Some of them might be so, I want to say, perverted to the point where, they want to sleep with a model, for them to go to the next step or something like that. Have you experienced that? And if you have, how did you handle that situation?
Well, honestly speaking, I have not had that, but like I've had like a little bit. I need my space, don't get too close. Mm-hmm. But it's all about personality and how you comport yourself in a business environment. As a model, like I treat it as my job. Like if I'm on set, I don't want to flirt. I don't want to go, beyond what I'm there to do. But yeah, there is so many stories I've heard where, like producers will try to like go on a date with you or just like take advantage of the fact that you need their approval to make it to the next step. So there is that, I'm not going to lie, but you have to be careful because you might end up in a trap and not even make it far because there's a long way to go in this industry.
Yeah.
You can just go around sleeping around.
Gotcha. Yeah. True. Well, let me put you on the spot real quick. Look into the camera.
No, don't be putting me on the spot.
Well, you're already on the spot. So let me light up the fire. Let me turn up the stove some more. Look into the camera, right, and tell our listeners and watchers right now why they should come out to your very first annual Fashion for Hope event.
I would love to invite each and everyone, especially females. I would like to encourage everyone to support each other. We need to be there for each other. And this is what Fashion for Hope is about. We love to help our fellow females to have their education. Please come and support us. You don't need to pay a lot. It's only $20 to get in if you have your student ID, and for others $30. Come support us. Come help these girls get to their dreams. Come help this girl live the best life. There's so many things we can do. There's so much to do around the world, and this is just a small step. So help us achieve this dream. Help us get through Fashion for Hope weekend. It's gonna be Labor Day. So much fun. Great music. Great fashion. Great models. Like, come and support. Do not miss out. There's no excuse.
No excuses
There's no
whatsoever.
excuse.
Yeah, tickets. Where can people get the tickets?
Eventbrite
Eventbrite.
and at the door as
And
well.
at the door as well. Yeah, $20.
So if you can't buy your ticket on Eventbrite, please come earlier and have your ticket at the door. And do not miss out the red carpet. Come and show us your outfit. Come and be fierce. And you're going to have so many photographers. We can take photos of you and make sure we send them to you. So bring your friends. Have a fashion show experience. If you haven't been to a fashion show, I would suggest that you start from here and you're supporting and you're also enjoying yourself.
Yes, ma'am. Fashion for Hope.
Fashion for Hope.
To benefit girls' education. Is it Kempton Hotel?
Yes.
That's 2505.
2505
Yes,
Wisconsin Avenue.
Yeah, Northwest, right?
Yes.
6 p.m. to 10 p.m. Pull up
Pull
with your
on
friends,
them.
your best friends, your grandma, your mama. You know what I mean? It's
Your
about to be a
papa.
turn up. Yeah, your dad too. You know, it's gonna be a turn up. How can people reach you on social media?
So follow us on fashion.fo as a number for hope. And that's Instagram. And you can follow me on Highly Fierce, 2 E's at the end. And you'll see every update. I keep updating everything. So watch out.
Bet your personal IG or that's on private.
Oh, that's linked to it.
Oh, link to it. Oh, okay. Now,
But yes, Fashion for Hope.
pull up, man. Saturday. It's a Saturday.
It is this Saturday.
September 1st.
Yes.
Yeah. This is a question we ask all our guests, and I'm not picking on you. You know.
Mhm.
So, in your opinion, in your words, what is success?
Success is when you work hard to get something, either your dream or your goal, and end up having it right in front of you. And you're happy, successful.
Bet.
It's
Eh.
as simple as that.
It's as simple as that, huh? Sounds so easy, but hard to get.
It is so hard to get. You have to be very consistent
Mm.
and keep working onto your dreams. Don't give up. Don't listen to people. Just focus on your goals and pray. That's the key.
Yeah. Focus on pray. Prayer key. I appreciate you coming through.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, no doubt.
Nice to
no
meet
doubt.
you.
Nice to meet you too. You know, I like what you're doing here. You know, especially involving, you know, other models and stuff, bringing them together. I'm all about collaboration. So, you know, any way, you know, Stuck in the Middle could help, let us know. We'll be there.
Thank you so
yeah.
much.
Well, you've been listening and watching Stuck in the Middle podcast. I thank my guest, Lyndz. I'm not even going to try your last name.
Don't even try.
I'm not even going to try. I thank you for coming through and sharing, you know, your purpose, your platform. I think it's a very important thing you're doing, especially bringing it back to our continent of Africa. You know, we need more of this. We need more of this. Appreciate you.
Thank
Keep
you
grinding,
so
keep working
much.
hard. You know, in the next 5 years, I pray, you know, you're on bank alert status where, you know, all these kids are just having, you know, school books and
Exactly.
and uniforms, you know, left, right, center, you know, everything. All the
Next
shebang.
time, I hope, since I'm a big hope person, I hope that next time we'll be sitting with one of the girls here and she'll be talking to us.
Amen to that. Amen to that. Hey, follow us on all social platforms at SITM Podcast. Like us on Instagram, on Facebook. You know, send us emails with your questions, review, concerns. SITM Podcast 237 at gmail.com. Until next time, Stuck in the Middle Podcast. We out.
Yeah. Thank you.